Alright, so just a heads up, when the machine arrives there by you guys, the machine is possibly going to stand on the limit switches. I'm going to strap it down and try and get it away from the limit switches. But a good indication that it's standing on the limit switches is that there's going to be an arrow on the left hand side of the axis. Okay, I'm going to go to the back now and I'm going to explain which axis is what. As you can see here, at the moment it's in joint mode. So in the moment it's in joint mode, it's got basically 9 joints over here, 0 to 8. All right, the 0 represents the X, the 1 represents the Y, and the 2 represents the Z. Okay, the 6 represents the U, the 7 represents the V, and the 8 represents the W. The 4 represents the A axis, which is your press brake, the actual hydraulic movement from the tool that's basically moving. Alright, so here at the back of the machine, just a heads up as well, there's a thing that I cable tied in there that's supposed to be bolted on here. I'm leaving it like this for the transportation for now. But back to the limit switches. So over here you can see that limit switch is triggered. Now an easy way to get it out is to just push it away from there, okay? And as well, that one over there, if that slide is over there, you can also just push this by hand. That's an easy way to correct it. But let's say, for instance, that you don't want to go to the back, you don't want to come to the back. So I'm gonna just trigger the limit switch again like that. So to explain to you, this movement over here of the, if you stand in front of the machine, this is your left stop. Okay, so this movement from left to right is your x-axis, and that represents joint 0. Okay, now the slide over here that moves forward and backwards, that is your second joint. So that is joint 1. Because this is joint 0, that is joint 1, okay? And then this guy up over there that moves up and down, that is joint 2, all right? Then on this side, this is your U axis, basically moving from left to right, and this will be joint number 876. So this will be joint number 6, moving from left to right. Okay, that will be joint number 7, moving forward and backwards, and that guy over there will be joint number 8. So that represents W. Okay, so U, V, and W. And this is X, Y, and Z. And then your table or your blade moving up and down, that is A, your A axis, and otherwise known as joint number 4. All right. Okay, so back to the screen again. When it's touching a limit switch, you will see that the override limits toggle button will become available. So what you can do is you can go and click on it, and once you've clicked on it, then you can release the emergency stop toggle. Make sure that your emergency stop is released. Once your emergency stop is released, then release your toggle, and then toggle your power on. Now the arrow is on there on joint number 1, so you can go click on joint number 1, and we know that it needs to move in a negative direction because coming towards you is a negative direction. So then you can simply go click on minus, and there you will see that it is off the limit switch now. Once that is all done, so it will be like that for all the axes. If anything is over traveled, like let's say for instance you over travel your 4th joint, which is your blade moving up and down. I'm going to over travel it now, Oh, we need to. Okay, what I'm going to do now is just going to zero return everything. Okay, during reference returning, while the blade was busy moving down, I toggled the stop, and now as you can see there, the A axis or the fourth joint is on the limit switch. So what I'm going to do now again is I'm going to override limits, enable, click on the fourth joint, now the next one, we're standing on the third joint's limit switch. That is the blade moving up and down. So once again, I'm going to override limits, enable the machine, click on the third joint, and I want to move it up. So I'm going to click on minus. So clicking on minus over there, you can see it's moving that way. Right. Once you've done that, you can just simply click on home all. So then all the limit switches are going to zero return.